Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're checking out a big dirty banger. This one's Somebody Told Me by The Killers. It's an absolute stonker and a must in your band set list. I've got a huge shout out to Alfie, Luke and Simon. Thank you so much for being my latest patrons. If you'd like to find out more about it and vote on my next lesson, please click the link below. And with that in mind, let's get on with the lesson. And hey, subscribe if you're not already. Alright then, let's go over some important details before we begin. So we're going to be in E flat standard tuning, so we're going to be down a half step. Everything is going to sound like we're playing it one fret below, so make sure you've tuned down. We're going to be in the key of B flat minor today. And I've got some interesting effects going on here. I've got my overdrive pedal, which is my DoD looking glass, and I've just boosted up the gain, and also I've boosted the bass and treble. And to go along with that, I've got a phaser pedal, and that really adds an interesting texture to this particular song. Personally, I'm using a Mai Tai by Tortuga Effects. They're a bit of a boutique line of pedals and they sound pretty cool. Anyway, the introduction is going to be a really octave heavy part. It's going to be a really intense bit of guitar, and it just sounds like this. So we are starting down at the 7th of the G, then we've got the open B, which we're going to anchor in there for all of the positions, and then we've got our pinky finger coming in at the 10th of the E, and we're going to play that 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's already sounding pretty great. We're then going to take that up 2 frets, so now we'll slide up to the 9th of the G, open B, and 12th of the E. We'll then take that up another 2 frets, so now we'll be at the 11th of the G, open B, and 14th of the E. And after that, we'll take it up just 1 fret, so we're at the 12th of the G, open B, and then 15th of the E. And we're going to repeat this part twice. From here we'll move into the second part of the introduction, where we're going to play a double time rhythm. So now we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And to start that, we're going to jump back 1 fret to the 11th of the G, open B, and 14th of the E. Then we'll climb up 1 fret to the 12th of the G, open B, and 15th of the E. And after that, we'll slide all the way to the 14th of the G, open B, and 17th of the E now. We'll then go back down to the 12th of the G, open B, and 15th. And after that, we'll slide all the way to the 14th of the G, open B, and 17th of the E. We'll then go back down to the 12th of the G, open B, and 15th. We'll then go back down to the 12th of the G, open B, and 15th. And to finish off, we'll go 11th to 12th to 11th. So our second part of our introduction sounds like this. And all together we get this. Let's now have a look at the verse, and there's not too much melodically going on here. We're going to spend most of our time doing these string rakes, and in between that we're going to borrow a couple of riffs from the introduction. Check this out. So this seems like a really simple strumming pattern, but it's actually a little bit tricky because the tempo is just so fast. If your right arm starts to ache a little bit, give yourself a break. Anyway, we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to accent the first beat every time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just do that again without me counting along. I'll start slow and then build the speed up. Check this out. Sometimes I quite like to move my hand up and down the neck, and this is more for show than anything else, but it adds a cool effect to it. Check it out. So we're going to do that for 4 bars, and then we're going to go into a little bit of an introduction riff. Check this out. So that's going to be 11th of the G, open B, and 14th of the E. We're then going to take that up 1 fret to the 12th, up 2 frets to the 14th, and back down to the 12th. Together, both parts sound like this. We're then going to do these string rakes a second time, but this time we're going to do them for 6 bars instead of 4, and that'll sound like this. We're then going to play through these string rakes a third and final time. This time we're going to revert back to our 4-bar sequence. And then we'll be straight into the pre-chorus. Again, our verse all together sounds like this. As we move into the pre-chorus, for the first time we've got some chords to play. I'm going to show you a simplified version of this, and then I'm going to show you how I would do it. We're going to start with a G5 chord. And that's the third of the E, muted A string, open D, open G, and then third of the B and E. We'll then move into an A sus4. And that's open A, second of the D, second of the G, and third of the B. And then we're going to move into a B minor chord. Now, if you want to, in the middle of that chord, you can drop your middle finger, so the third of the B, and drop that so it goes down to the second, and that very briefly makes the chord a B sus2. That's just a nice idea for you. We're then going to go round back to our G chord and hold on that. Moving into our A sus4. And from here we can move into the chorus. So at its very simplest, you could just play this. Now, if I was performing the song, I would take that G5 chord and I would move it all the way up to the 15th fret. Then as we move into our A sus4, we could play it like this, just like how we did at the lower register. So 14th of the D, 14th of the G, and 15th of the B, starting from the open A string. Alternatively, you could take the 14th of the D off and have it as an open D. And that's still an A sus4, we're just changing the 5th for a 4th. And then I quite like to play this simplified version of a B minor chord. Starting from the G string, I have got the 16th fret, then 15th of the B, and then open E. And you can also add in that suspended sound, changing the 15th of the B down to the 14th in there as well. Then when I go round to the G chord, I like to go down to the lower register. And then go back up to the higher register, A sus4. And as an alternative, you could also play it like this. So it looks quite a lot like a D5 chord, but we've got the open A there, so it's still an A sus4. And that's open A, 12th of the D, 14th of the G, and then 15th of the B. So altogether, the way I would play it would sound like this. We've now arrived at the chorus and things get a little bit easier here. We've only got a handful of chords to play. I'm just going to show you the bog standard version of playing it, and then I'm going to show you how I would do it. So the chords we've got are just a B minor, G major, A major and F sharp major. And together, at their simplest, they just sound like this. Now, you could also play that at a lower register as well. But personally, if I was going to play it, I would do something like this. So this is a bit of an odd one. I'm starting with the 7th of the E, then muting the A string, then I've got the open D, 7th of the G and 7th of the B. And this is actually just a simple B minor chord. We've got the root, which is our 7th of our E. Then obviously we're muting the A string. Then we've got our open D. And that's the 5th of B. We've then got the 7th of the G, which is another D, so another 5th. And then we've got our minor third, which is on the 7th of the B. So again, it looks a bit odd, but really it's just a simple B minor chord. And I think adding in that open D adds a really nice quality to the chord. Then we're going to do a cool little trick. We're just going to push our pinky finger from the 7th of the B up to the 8th now. And now we've got a G major chord here, but it's not just a normal G major. We've got a G with a B in the bass, which would make it a first inversion G major. And that's a really nice transition. We don't really have to go anywhere. Then we'll be into this shorthand version of an A major. And that's open A, then 7th of the D there, 6th of the G, 5th of the B. And again, we're adding in that open A string, which adds a nice quality to the progression. Then we'll go down to our F sharp bar chord. And then we can repeat the first part of that again. And then if you want to, you can play the synth line at the end of the chorus. And that's 9th of the D. Then we're going to play the octave, which is going to be the 12th of the B. And we're going to play that twice. We'll then play the 11th of the G. And then play the 10th of the B twice. And then we'll finish by landing at the 9th of the G. Now this one's a bit of a quick change to fit in at the end of the chorus, so it might take a little bit of practice. I'll just show you how it goes. I should also just mention, I think on the backing track, when I go to play that riff at the end, I think I start by playing the 9th of the G instead of the 9th of the D. It's just a minor hiccup, but something to be aware of.
Somebody told me you had a boyfriend who looked like a girlfriend that I had a February of last year. It's not confidential, I've got potential. Ready, let's roll on.
now have a look at the second verse, and in particular we're going to check out the synth part. Now this is going to be a really great idea for those of you who have got a spare guitar player in your band. Let's have a look at the example and then break it down. So we've got these dyads to play, or 2-note chords, and we're going to start by playing behind the string rakes in the verse. We're just going to be filling in the void there and just padding out the sound. We're going to start at the 12th of the B and 10th of the E. We're then going to move that down to the 7th of the B and 5th of the E. And then we're going to go back to the 12th and 10th. To finish this first part, we're going to slide up to the 14th and 12th. And then we're going to take a quick pause. So we've got this so far. At this point, like I said, we're going to take a quick pause because the other guitar player should be playing that intro riff. And then we're going to come back in and pad out the sound for a second time, and this time we're just going to hold on the 12th and 10th frets. And then we're going to play that a second time. And then the song's going to move into the pre-chorus, and for us we're going to move up to the 15th of the B and 14th of the E. We'll then take that down to the 14th and 12th. And then land at the 12th and 10th. Then to finish off this part, we've got an ascending run. And that's going to be 8th of the B, 7th of the E. Taking that up 2 frets to the 10th of the B, 9th of the E. Then back in familiar territory, 12th and 10th. 14th and 12th. 15th and 14th. And then finally all the way to the 17th of the B and 15th of the E. Again, the lead guitar for the second verse sounds like this. So the last thing for us to have a look at is the instrumental section, and this is a nice and easy one. We've only got 4 notes to play here. Let's have a look at the example and then I'll break it down. So we're going to be doing all alternate picking for this, so every time we do a downstroke we're going to follow it with an upstroke afterwards. We're going to start at the 12th of the E and we're going to play that 3 times. We're then going to play the 10th of the E 5 times. We're then going to repeat that again. Then, when we play that riff a 3rd and a 4th time, we're going to play a slight variation. We're now going to include the B string, and it's going to go 12th, 10th to 12th, so we get this. So that's 3 times on the 12th of the E, twice on the 10th of the E. Then for the remaining 3 strokes, we're going to do 12 on the B, 10th to 12th. We're then going to repeat that entire section a 2nd time, so we have this. Every time after that, we're going to play the riff which features that B string 12th to 10th to 12th. So all together we have this. So that was my lesson on the Killers Somebody Told Me. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'm now going to leave you with the backing track.
It's not